What's up, guys? What's up, guys? It's Charles here with Rocket Punch Army, and I was just doing a review of the TP01 Titan Power, and I was explaining how to take care of your stuff that usually corrodes on high-end toys. I said, what the hey? Let me just make a separate video and show you guys what I do. Now, a disclaimer. This is what I do. I'm pointing at myself, and I've just poked my eye. And again, this is what I do. It's what's worked for me. I don't know if you put it on yours, if it's going to melt or like explode. I don't know. So I'm not responsible. But this is what I do. So we have here, it's not actually cheap. As you may know, some rubber components dry up or they become really gooey. I think this is more for drying up stuff. Once your stuff becomes gooey, I don't know if there's any turning back, but this will keep your rubber from cracking. And it's worked very well. I just took out a Combattler from 2003, and the rubber is beautiful because when I got it, which was maybe a few years ago, I put it on and the rubber is perfect. I'm going to do the same for Vehicle Voltron, although I don't know if they're using rubber, but at least I can show you with that. Move on to spray cleaner and polish. This is obviously not meant for toys. Neither of these are meant for toys. These are meant for automobiles, but because I am in the automobile, or was in the whole automobile thing, I know a thing or two about these. So this right here, as you can see, it's got the Honda wing right there, because this is primarily meant for motorcycles, at least initially, and people have found that it's a beautiful detailer. Long story short, I was at a car show. I forgot my Meguiar stuff, which is expensive, and my friend said just spray it with this, and I literally just sprayed it with that and wiped it, and it was the awesomest shine I've ever gotten. I would lay things on the car hood and it would just slide right off like those commercials. So this is what I use, not just for the paint, for shiny paint, but anything shiny really. You spray this on. It is for use on plastic, chrome, paint, and aluminum. Okay, but I use it on my GX71. As you can see, the thighs are still shiny, and the reason I say the thighs is because these things corrode. Like, you literally just leave it there for a second and it's corroded. And it actually is, because I forgot to put some right there. It's not that bad, but I just want to make sure you don't miss a spot. I did that kind of quick, but at least I can show you there what I do. The corrosion, if it's that bad, you may need to use like an actual polish. The thing with the polish is that they're usually abrasive, and you're going to leave lines. So try to get this stuff taken care of ASAP. What I'm going to do is somehow, let's see if I can do this. Just know that if it's too far along, again, you might have to use something different, but this works pretty good. What I usually do, make sure you shake the can. A light spritz. Oh, that's definitely not a light spritz. I can polish my hand now. What I do is let it sit there for a sec. I don't think this has any kind of solvents or anything, so maybe leaving it there won't even make a difference. But I tend to do that just to maybe soak into whatever's there. And then all I do is wipe it off. I just gently wipe it off. There's no pressure that I'm really applying on there. I just wipe it off, and you'll see it's super gleamy. There are a little bit of scuff marks there that have nothing to do with the corrosion. Those are just scuffs. They're actually marked into the chrome. But I do this, and I've done it with the plastic bits. Again, I mean, it takes a lot of... Uh-oh, there we go. There's some more on this side. Please, little spritz. The only bad side with doing it this way is I sprayed everything else. So you want to wipe it down. It's not going to stain, or at least that's what I hope. But you definitely want to wipe it off the stuff you don't want it on as quickly as possible. But again, I'm going to leave that there. Just like to do this. Maybe the fingerprints are abrasive enough to remove what's there. But I find this is the only way. Like, if you don't, like, before I use this, I would just literally have at it with the cloth, and eventually the cloth just becomes abrasive with the heat and everything. But this, I find, there's no effort whatsoever. Just spray it on, and I'm not even really pressing. It's just enough to, remove it. And I like to just move it back and forth, like just caress it a little bit. Look at that. It's like a mirror. And it'll also keep it from happening again, because the way I showed it to you at the beginning of the video is the way it's been for at least a month, and normally it wouldn't even last more than a couple of days. Now we're going to move on to the Gumi Fledge Stift. I don't know. I had to pause there for a second because it kind of weirded me out saying that. Just so you know what I've done it on the wheels. I have done it on the tracks. These are usually the ones, I mean wheels, anything rubber really is what cracks. Again, I don't know if this is rubber or some kind of silicone, but I'm not taking a chance. It seems to have given it like a nice sheen from using it, so maybe it is rubber. But what you want to do, and maybe not if the tracks are already cracked, you might want to do it while they're on there if they're cracking, because it does help. Even on cracked ones that are far gone, stuff works good. But you want to, I don't know if you have to shake it, but you do have to press this little button in there. You can see the foam on mine is beat up because I've used it on actual cars too. This is meant for like the seals or anything rubber around a car, and I will tell you it's like you can see the gleam on this. If you have the GX88, take a look. They're kind of satiny, but it always retains like a, not a tack, but you can tell there's something protecting it, which is cool. But this is the way the Combatler looks after I've done it. But all I do is rub this stuff on, and it's wet when you put it on, and all you do is just massage it into the rubber. I usually tend to leave it for a couple of seconds, maybe not minutes, because then it starts staining and then you have to rub it off. But just a few seconds, just let it be on there and massage it, and then eventually as you massage it, it's gone, and then it's just into the rubber, and then you don't really have to worry about this drying up. I don't know if you have to reapply, but again, the Combatler has a few years already with it, and I haven't had to reapply, but I did anyway, just in case.